Vladimir Putin entered politics after getting a law degree and serving for the KGB for 16 years. After serving in several official posts, notably as an undercover operative in Germany, he was appointed interim Prime Minister of Russia in 1999. His first presidency lasted from 2000 until 2008.
Клянусь, при осуществлении полномочий президента Российской Федерации уважать и охранять права и свободы человека и гражданина.
His official compensation as president is estimated to be $187,000 per year. Nonetheless, he has utilized his position in the office to gain ownership holdings in several wealthy firms. For more than a decade, rumors about Putin's vast hidden money have been circulating in Russia. How can one accumulate a vast hidden fortune? According to critics, when the Soviet Union crumbled and gave way to today's pseudo-capitalistic oligarchy, Putin was well poised to gain personally at each stage. One of Putin's most important power grabs, according to reports, occurred in July 2003, when he publicly detained Russia's then richest citizen, Mikhail Khodorkovsky. Khodorkovsky was practically dragged off his private plane, handcuffed, and sent to Moscow for trial. He was valued $15 billion at the time. He was found guilty and sentenced to 9 years in jail in May 2005. He was then accused with money laundering and stealing. Mikhail Khodorkovsky was imprisoned in Siberia for 10 years until being freed in December 2013. According to Bill Browder, a hedge fund manager who was expelled from Russia in 2005, after watching what happened to Mikhail Khodorkovsky, all of Russia's rich industrialists rushed to Moscow to find out what they could do to escape the same fate. According to Browder's testimony before the U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee in 2017, the strategy went as follows. Following Khodorkovsky's conviction, the other oligarchs went to Putin and asked him what they needed to do to avoid being imprisoned alongside Khodorkovsky. According to what followed, Putin's response was 50%. He wasn't saying 50% for the Russian government or the Russian presidential administration, but 50% for Vladimir Putin personally. Browder lays it all out later in his testimony. Putin is one of the world's wealthiest men. Over his 17 years in power, I think he has amassed $200 billion in ill-gotten riches from these sorts of businesses. Allow me to repeat that number. Vladimir Putin is worth $200 billion, according to Bill Browder. That would make him the world's richest person today, surpassing Jeff Bezos by $4 billion. Let's take a look at Vladimir Putin's pricey real estate investments, which range from lake cottages to owning a mansion as large as Buckingham Mansion. 1. The Billionaire's Village. A new palace was apparently erected on the outskirts of Moscow in the Billionaire's Hamlet, making it one of the list's most recent entries. According to Mirror, the castle features 2 main buildings totaling 123,785 square feet and stables totaling 21,528 square feet in the backyard. The 15-acre enclosure is secure, and the classical-style structure is owned by Property V, where the V stands for Vladimir Putin. It is claimed to be double the size of Buckingham Palace and will set you back $360 million. 2. Holiday home in Vyborg Bay. His vacation property is on an island in Vyborg Bay, 20 miles from the Russian-Finnish border. The house was refurbished in 2010 and now has an underground spa and swimming pool with gold-plated tiles. The prestigious vacation villa was built in 1913 and was utilized to film the Soviet sequences in the 1987 film Sherlock Holmes. 3. The Lake House in St. Petersburg. Vladimir Putin is claimed to own a traditional dacha residence in a gated neighborhood near Lake Komsomolsk. The home burned down in 1996 when the leader was in the sauna, forcing him to flee from the balcony he described. He reconstructed the house in a few years after the tragedy. 4. Putin's Palace. It stated in 2021 that Putin had been secretly building a residence along the Black Sea since 2014. According to Business Insider, the castle cost him over $1.3 billion. Every room in the house features regal decor, a vast layout, and crystal chandeliers. His castle also has an ice rink and a pole dancing area. 5. Retreat in the Altai Mountains. He owns a lonely location in the Siberian Altai Mountains, where he has a secret hideaway. The Russian president frequents this leisure area, trekking along the paths and picking mushrooms and berries. There is no information available concerning the retreat's interior. 6. Novo Ogaryovo. Putin's Novo Ogaryovo mansion became his official residence after assuming office in 2000 and serving as prime minister from 2008 to 2012. Originally built in the 19th century by Emperor Alexander III's brother, Duke Sergei Alexandrovich, the residence was used by the Soviet authorities to welcome foreign delegations visiting Russia. 7. The Kremlin in Moscow. For many years, the Kremlin in Moscow has served as the primary home of Russian leaders. According to 9 Australia, it is a historic edifice built by Catherine the Great's command from 1776 to 1787. Putin's office is in the north wing of the Kremlin Senate and is rectangular in shape, similar to the Oval Office in the United States.
Да, ну вот этот кабинет просто был больше
This is the office, and it used
в
to be bigger,
советское время.
well, during the Soviet era,
Вот, стенки не было.
because there was no wall separating.
У меня там,
Is this where you work now?
yes.
You take meetings in here too?
Здесь встречи состоятся.
Да.
So 2 desks. How does he use them?
Здесь я с документами работаю. Он, как правило, завален бумагами.
That's my.
Yes.
That's mine.
Yes.
Oh, that's great. That's my history book, co-written.
8. Apartment in Moscow. Putin owns a government-leased residence on Moscow's well-recognized Akademika Zelenskogo Street 6. The flat was initially assigned to him by Russia's former president, who wanted him to be his successor. The apartment takes up 153.7 square meters of space, and the residence floor is unknown. 9. Valdai Estate. Another official house for Mr. Putin is located in the Novgorod region and has 3 names: Valdai, Uzhin, and Dolgi Borody. Valdai, Dolgi Borody, and Uzhin are all nicknames for Vladimir's official house. The estate was built in the 1930s to be one of Stalin's dachas, but the dictator deemed the location too unsafe. The mansion was built in the 1980s and is surrounded by deep woodlands, with just one way to the mainland. People may even rent one of the estate's homes for $800 for a 2-night stay. 10. Bocharov Ruche in Sochi. Along with Putin's primary residence, his home in Sochi, Bocharov Ruche, is frequently featured in the media. According to RBTH, Stalin commissioned the residence in 1955 so that Russian officials may stay there. It has become Russia's official summer residence, and the president has received numerous international leaders there, notably George W. Bush in 2008 and Angela Merkel in 2018. From luxurious villas in unknown locales to castles that can compete with any royal residence, Vladimir Putin has a remarkable real estate portfolio worth billions of dollars. Putin, as one of the world's most powerful presidents, continues to amass vast real estate holdings around Russia.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to click the like button. Subscribe and click the notification button if you want more daily updates on building wealth, personal finance, and achieving financial independence. And remember, the world is yours.